What's up, guys? Welcome to A Reseller's Life. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's episode, I want to talk about the fact that I am turning professional on eBay today. There's going to be a big difference between March 15th, 2021 Chris on eBay and every other day before this. If you guys have been watching me since 2017, I used to be 10K on the Bay, and my goal was to reach 10,000 live unique listings on eBay. I'm now at 13,952, and because I just changed the Anchor Store subscription from 10K on the Bay to 25K on the Bay starting next month, then I had to push myself to 25,000 listings by the end of the year, and I'm going to be able to do it now because of this mental shift. I'm now professional. I'm not going to be an amateur in any way about this. This is not a judgment on people. It doesn't matter. I don't care what other people are doing. This is just for myself. I want to be a professional. I have been doing things what I call loosey-goosey this entire time. Everything I have been experimenting with and testing, and you guys know me. I used to say I was 50% squirrel. I actually think that the previous version of me was like 85% squirrel. Okay, it's just that I have enough structure built into my day that I still survive even with the 85% squirrel DNA. So I want to get rid of that a little bit. So I'm going to be focused on creating a different person that's less squirrel. And that's going to be based on repetition of doing the things like a professional over and over again. Do you want to go have a surgery and the doctor says, you know what, I want to try something new today? I don't want that surgeon. I want someone that's been doing it for a long time, knows what they're doing, and there's going to be a good success rate. That's what I want, a good success rate with my eBay listings. Here's an example. The most recent item I listed was this Banana Republic jean jacket. So what do I want to do? I want to provide the best title I can with the most specifics, the best photos I can. So I edit every photo. The reason why I edit every photo is because a lot of people don't do that. I'm trying to stand out from the competition and show detailed shots. I want to show the content. I want to show the customer that I care a lot about this particular listing. I'm going to fill out as many item specifics as I can. I'm going to describe the item. I am going to add one more sentence talking about the condition, but I do measurements. I do as much as I can. And think about if your doctor was going to just leave out a few things when he's putting you back together. I don't want that. So I'm going to try to fill out every single item specific that I can. Of course, there are some that maybe don't relate to the item and I might skip those, but the major important ones I'm putting back in because I want to do the best job I can as an eBay professional. I don't want to be an amateur about anything. Okay, so this is the order that I do things, and I'm going to be doing them as close to what a surgeon would do as I possibly can, because I want the results to be predictable. If you have an unpredictable effort every day, you're going to have unpredictable results, and I don't want that. I want to know how much money I'm making on eBay. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to be an eBay owner or professional, make $100,000 or more a year. That's option one. Number two is make a full-time income, which I consider $1,000 a week to $2,000 a week, depending on where you live. Most places $1,000 a week you can get by. Part-time income is just $0 to $1,000 a week, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have no judgment for people, no matter what area of the journey you're at, whether you're just starting selling stuff around the house or you have 150 employees. It's fine. All of it is the same. We're all battling the same journey of trying to get to that next level. But for me, it's not about being professional, because I do earn a professional level income already on eBay. I just don't treat it like a professional. I'm too loosey-goosey about everything, and I don't want to be that way. I want to be tight. I want to have everything accounted for. I want you to ask me how much profit I made today, and I can tell you to the penny how much money I made today. I'd rather have that than be big. I just want to be clear. I want to be professional, because if you were to ask somebody who's really detailed about their job, they would know their job inside out. They would know exactly what's going on. So I want to be that person. So for me, the order that I do my business is I launch drafts in the morning. I wake up, I launch 200 drafts, I answer all my customer service, I do shipping, I describe all my items, I photograph all my items, I pack my items and put them away, I prep items for the next day, I go, and I call that resetting to zero. Then I edit all the photos, I upload all the photos into my computer, then I draft all the items for the next day. That's it. I don't want any interpretation. I don't want to be creative. I was just talking to Tech and Sports today. We run this Facebook group where we are helping other eBay professionals. There's almost 400 people in it right now, which is amazing. And shout out to Nick Roberts, 147 sales out the door today. So we love seeing people crush it. But I was just talking to Tech today about CVS. It's a drugstore. Let me know if you've heard of CVS. It's pretty big. It's a really, really big drugstore chain in America. If you were to work there, they don't need you to be creative. They just need you to go there and do what they tell you to do. They've already developed all of the systems. eBay is already set up. They already tell you all of the systems. They tell you need to offer a competitive return policy. You need to ship things quickly. You need to offer a reasonable rate for shipping. You need to write a good title. You need to have good pictures. You need to accurately describe the item. I use promotions. So people have been asking, how do I do flat $9.99 shipping on all items? I'll do that in a future video, but what I'm doing is essentially trying to convince my buyers to buy 2 or more items. That's why I have $7.99 for shipping for 1 item, because I'd rather ship 2 if I can. So I'm trying to entice my buyers to buy more than one thing. But that's the recipe, okay? Best quality item you can at a decent price, decent everything. That's all there is to it. If you do this over and over again and consistently list, you will be fine. That's all there is to it. I just want you to think of yourself like a pro. And I've made a list of things that I feel like are the difference between people who are good at this and professional level and people who can't seem to gain any traction. So I think professionals really work on an appointment level. They know what time they're going to be doing something. They don't just wing it. So you can just wing it. And I think a lot of people are going to be complaining in the comment section below saying that not everyone does it like this. And that's not the point of this video. You can do it however you want to do it. Like, I have to remind people that this channel is not called My Opinion is Better Than Yours. It's not. It's just my opinion of how I personally do things. You can do it however you want. Amateurs stop when they achieve something. So it's kind of like they list an item, they sell it, make some good money, and they go out for a steak dinner. They go buy themselves a cupcake. For me, I understand that that's just the beginning. Like, there's a lot more to it than just that one sale. I've sold multiple items for thousands of dollars that I got for $1. None of those I got super excited because that's only one tiny bit of this gigantic puzzle that I'm trying to build. Those are nice. They keep you going. But honestly, what keeps me going more is the idea of a enterprise, something that I build that continues to make money even when I'm not there. I'm trying to do something long term, something bigger than myself. C, amateurs have a goal. Professionals have a process. I 100% agree with this. I want all of my different stations, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 stations. I want the 8 stations to do the same process over and over and over again. A lot of you have been asking about my guide. My guide is now free if you join the Facebook group. So there's a pinned post in the Patreon group. You can join at patreon.com/theresellerspodcast. I'll put that in the link below. If you join the Patreon, the link for my guide will be in there for free. So my processes will be in there, but there's 8 processes that I have, and I don't want them to change. I want people to be able to come to work for me, and the very first day they can do it. That's how straightforward it is. This is letter D. 4th thing. Amateurs think they are good at everything. Professionals understand their circles of competence. I used to think I could sell anything, but I can't. I am okay saying that I'm not good at selling everything. Will I only sell clothing the rest of my life? Probably not, but I understand there's a circle of competency, and I understand I have not paid my dues yet. Okay, so even though I have 13,900 listings and I comfortably make 6 figures reselling clothing, I still don't think that I have paid my dues yet, to be honest. There's still a lot I need to learn. There's a lot that goes into clothing. It's one of the biggest categories in the world, and everyone owns it. Everyone has clothing. Okay, it's a massive category. So I have not paid my dues yet. And I was just thinking I would love to, post one day that I paid $1 million in tax or some huge number, and then I just want to put one hashtag dues paid. That's it. Paid my dues. This is what happens when you pay your dues. You get a big fat paycheck at the end. That's how I look at it. E. Amateurs see feedback and coaching as someone criticizing them as a person. I 100% agree with that. I have a YouTube channel. There's people telling me I'm a miserable failure every day, and I just see it as an opportunity to improve. There's only one answer I have now. Chris, your pictures are terrible. Thank you. Hey, Chris, looks like you're offering $7.99 for shipping. That seems really expensive. Thank you. Every single thing that happens to me when people say, you know what, your business is you're basically a trash dealer. Thank you. I just take it as constructive criticism. It doesn't bother me because I'm a professional. An amateur, though, they really worry about how other people perceive them. And don't be like that. Treat yourself like a professional. If you really know something, then inside and out, then whatever somebody's opinion is of you won't matter. Okay, as long as you're actually good at the endeavor. If you're starting to see a little bit of truth in what they say, then just consider it a learning opportunity. Don't beat yourself up. Amateurs value isolated performance. This is very true. Whenever I'm talking to people who are just starting or know-it-alls, they always tell me about something they sold for a lot of money. But I really don't care about the once-in-a-lifetime or the big fish that you caught in the pond. Show me the size of your store. Show me your processes. Show me your consistency. That's more interesting to me. It's more interesting to me that you've done the same thing all year than you had one huge home run. That huge home run had not that much to do with you. It was mostly the item. Somebody with no experience could find a Declaration of Independence copy at a garage sale and sell for $400,000. There's no skill involved in that. Okay, but somebody that has a system that sells antiques, 50 to 100 antiques every single week, that's powerful. That's impressive to me because that takes time, that takes knowledge, that takes putting your dues in over decades to learn your craft so that you can actually do that. G. Amateurs give up at the first sign of trouble and assume they're failures. I see this all the time. Guys, you're not going to know how to do this in the beginning. It takes a long time. You're going to get scammed. You're going to have a return that's not accurate. You're going to list an item and have all this information, and someone's going to say, what size is it? And you're going to say, did you check the title or the picture of the size or the item specific or the description? I have the size 5 times in the listing. And the person will say, oh no, I just looked at the first picture and didn't see it. That's what happens when you're doing this for a while. You recognize that there's a lot that goes into it, and you have to be persistent. You have to have some grit. You have to continue to do this. Don't give up. If you see something happen, take it as a part of the path to growth and mastery. I 100% agree with that. Get back up on the horse. Keep going. Don't feel like doing it today? Too bad. Do it anyway. That's like one of my new favorite sayings. Don't feel like doing it? Do it anyway. Amateurs do not know what improves their odds of achieving good outcomes. Professionals do. I know exactly how to get more sales. You list more items and you do a better job at listing. That's pretty much it. If you don't understand that basic part, you are still an amateur, which is fine. Everyone starts as an amateur. It's just that you need to understand how to improve your odds. And that just comes down to the basics. You've got to be good at your job, and you'll improve your odds of achieving a good result. Amateurs show up to practice to have fun. Oh, this one hits me in the heartstrings. I'm showing up to, the way that I run my business, I'd like to have every day be at 50% of what's possible. I don't want to, how I was saying that I feel like a Saturn sometimes because I'm driving too fast for my vehicle. I don't want to be like that. I want to be the opposite. I want to be like Ferrari engine, right? But Japanese craftsmanship, so it's built to last. And I have a 500 horsepower beautiful handcrafted engine, but I only need to drive in the school zone at 10 miles an hour. No problem. You can drive at 10 miles an hour when you are a supercar, right? I don't want to be a motorcycle in a Formula One race about to explode. I don't want to be like that. I want it to be easy. So I'm really focused on developing the skills and power where my goal of 200 listings a day is a piece of cake. J, amateurs focus on identifying their weaknesses and improve them. Professionals focus on their strengths and finding people who are strong where they are weak. So I think that most people are stronger than they think. So you can do a lot of the things that you think you're weak at, but eventually you hire people that are better at what you do, better than you at what you do. So I consider myself actually a very good product photographer, but I'm not very fast. I would say that everything that I do in my listing process is actually relatively slow. The only difference between me and a regular person is I just work more hours. So I don't really have any. My strength is really just that I work a lot. But now I'm going to focus that strength into only a few things so I can really excel. I've never had a problem with work ethic. If you guys have known me for the last 4 years, I'm not a lazy person. So let me know in the comment section below if this is something that you struggle with. Are you a person that thinks about their weaknesses all day? Or are you really pushing forward with your strengths and finding out a way to either eke out the stuff that you're not good at or give it to somebody else? Amateurs think knowledge is power. Professionals pass on wisdom and advice. This is something that I think is really important to think about. Anytime somebody gives you a specific nugget, it's usually wrong. If it's too specific, it's wrong. Like somebody says, you know what? All Gucci sells for thousands of dollars. That's wrong. It's not true. Right? Some Gucci sells for thousands of dollars. What I would derive from a comment like that is that sometimes luxury goods sell for thousands of dollars, but there's also a risk in selling them because those brands have tighter verified rights owner protections. They have more lawyers and potentially more fraud. There is something attached to that $1,000 plus price tag. In fact, the Real, as you guys know, is being sued by Chanel because Chanel is saying you can't authenticate Chanel. Only we can. You can't just look at a bag and say that it's real. You don't have the credentials to do that. And that's true. So even a person that's hired by a company that might be a Chanel expert and seen everything on earth that's that brand, they still can't authenticate legally in some cases whether that brand is authentic or not. So anytime you hear something like this is the way to do it, it's usually wrong. So just look at it in a more generic method. The more that you know, you actually realize there's exceptions to everything. Amateurs focus on being right. Professionals focus on getting the best outcome. I have suspended my need to be right. I don't care about being right. I don't care about being smart. I don't care about looking good. I just want the best outcome. I want my store to be really healthy, really good metrics, 0% late shipments, 0 defects, 0 item not as described. That's very difficult, but that's what I want. I don't care about being right, and I don't care about posting my numbers on Instagram for the most likes. I know that, okay, let me give you an example. The top social media posts are new car, new baby, new house. I didn't post any of those things because I don't care. That's not important. Getting the most likes does not matter. It's, are you living the best life? That's something really to post about. Okay, but that being said, posting that your life is really awesome, no one is going to like that comment. People like the flex. Okay. Amateurs think good outcomes are the result of their brilliance. That is so true. So guys, when I sell something for a lot of money, I realize that it's not me. It's just that the item that I found was really valuable. And because I'm spending 8 hours every single week looking for items, I'm going to just run into good items as a result of luck. And all I'm thinking about is my average sale price. What is my average price of an item sold in my store? Is that going up? Because that means I'm becoming a little bit better at picking. But every individual item, that's just luck. Whether you find something that's like $1,000 but finding something that's $20 is not luck. That's just gonna happen if you put the work in. Amateurs focus on the short term. Professionals focus on the long term. I focus on the long term now, but I really struggled with this. And you know what? I think that everyone might go through this. So in my 20s, all I thought about was the short term. I just thought I want to have the best weekend possible. I want to have the best whatever right now. YOLO, right? You only live once. Let's do it right now. But now, as I get a little bit older, I want things to last forever. Okay, so I think life is plenty long if you just focus on setting up the right principles and having it carry you into the rest of your life. P, amateurs focus on tearing other people down. Professionals focus on making everyone better. So why do we have this Facebook group? Helping people grow actually has helped us grow. So rather than tear people down, we're just trying to highlight people who are doing well. Whenever people share something that's working well with them, that's what we want. In fact, if everyone started being a professional, there would be a lot less problems. Everyone should treat themselves like a professional in everything that you do, and it will just make the world way better because everyone will have extra. If you're a professional, you always have extra money, you always have extra time. If you're an amateur, you're running around like your head is chopped off because nothing is ever set up right. I don't recommend that. If everyone was a professional, we would have a lot of more abundance. Amateurs make decisions in committees, so no one is responsible if things go wrong. This one is killer. Everything is my fault. Okay, if my sell-through rate is not fast, it's not eBay's fault, it's my fault. If somebody doesn't buy it, it's because my pictures are bad, my title is bad, my price is wrong, I didn't listen consistently enough. It's always my fault. If you have to go hang out in a Facebook group and complain about sales being slow, you're essentially blaming somebody else. Stop doing that. Never do that again. Unsubscribe from my channel if you're going to continue to blame other people, because that's not what we do here. Okay? Here we smash the like button and consider subscribing if we want tips for building an online store. Amateurs show up inconsistently. Professionals show up every day. This one, we could just drop the mic right here. If you show up every day, so back to my initial thought at the beginning of this video where I'm a professional now. If you're a professional at like a 9 to 5, then you're probably not working 9 to 5. You're probably working a little bit longer than that. Most professionals I know sometimes work like 8 to 6, 8 to 8, 8 to 10. They'll stay there a little bit longer, but they're doing that every single day. If you want to make an extraordinarily high income, really the secret is just to show up every single day. I remember I dated an investment banker when I lived in Manhattan. She is now a vice president at Merrill Lynch. Very successful lady. Her boss said, if you don't want to stay here till 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, then don't bother coming in on Sunday. That I didn't even realize it was possible to work that hard. Okay, so when I saw her doing that and then taking home $40,000 a month in income, I didn't even know that existed. Okay, like I'm from Utah. I barely knew people made six figures, let alone $40,000 in a month. I had never seen that kind of income. So I think it's really important to think about the fact that she showed up every single day for 16 plus hours a day, and it didn't even really register until right now that she was that super high level professional that shows up all day and is productive all day long. And I remember 1 o'clock in the morning, after a grueling day of work, she would go to the gym and then she'd go out. Like, that is intense. That is like some super high level professional stuff right there. Amateurs go faster, professionals go further. Couldn't agree with this one more. It's not about going fast. It's about setting it up so that you can do it every single day forever. I'm going to do my eBay store forever. I actually think that people say, oh, I really love reselling. I go out shopping all the time. You really like shopping. I actually really love reselling because I love everything about it. Okay, enough. And I think love is a verb. Okay, love is a verb. If you love something, you do it a lot. If you love your family, you hang out with your family a lot. If you say you love your family but you're never with them, I don't know if that's correct, because love is a verb. Like, you have to put energy into it for it to be love, in my opinion. You can't just say it. So there's a big difference between saying you love reselling and really it just means you like retail therapy. And that might be a slap in the face to some people listening right now, that you don't really want to be a reseller. You just like shopping because it takes the stress off of your regular life. And that's okay too. It's just, if you really start loving all the different processes, it will change your life. Okay, so fall in love with all of it. Don't just stop at the shopping part. Love the rest of it. Shipping, photography, describing, listing. If you don't love listing, then you don't love reselling. Okay, it's part of it. Amateurs go with the first idea that pops into their head. Professionals realize that the first idea is rarely the best idea. I 100% agree with this. So, as an amateur, you're running around trying every single new idea. And that's not how you should do it. You should really just make a decision based on what you are currently doing in your business. If you're listing one item a day and you listen to my video and your next idea is you want to list 200 items a day, that is the wrong information to be doing when you're a one listing a day person. Go from 1 to 2. Go from 2 to 5. Go from 5 in a week to 10 in a week. Don't make decisions based on what other people are doing, because for some people, 200 listings a day is garbage because they're used to listing 9,000 items a day. If you guys have heard of the company Zulily lists 9,000 items a day. Do I look at their company and feel bad because I can never reach 9,000 items a day? No, I'm just inspired by them. I'm like, that's cool. Good for you for figuring out the systems required to list 9,000 items a day, because that's bonkers. Congratulations. That's an amazing system and robot that you built, because that's very impressive. Amateurs think in ways that can't be invalidated. Professionals don't. So I think that's important. When you are coming up with an idea, you have to be able to test it. W. Amateurs think in absolutes. Professionals think in probabilities. I hear this all the time. What about this seller? They use free shipping. What about this seller? They have free returns. What about it? For me, when I look at that, if you guys look at the listings, on the left side, there are certain things that people click on. If somebody clicks free returns in my listing, every single item is still available. If they click free shipping, 6 of my items are available. Okay, so that goes to show, I think of it probability wise. I will be losing some customers because I don't have free shipping. Simple as that. I don't have free shipping. It causes me to lose some customers. I am just hoping that I am going to earn, I'm gambling that I'm not really gambling, I'm playing the probabilities. I know I will earn more profit in some scenarios because I'm charging for shipping, because customers think $14.99 plus $7.99 shipping is cheaper than $23 free shipping. That's just my personal, I've decided to use that probability instead of free shipping. But don't think about absolutes. There is no one way to do eBay. Every single category is different. Don't think in absolutes. Amateurs think there's a probability of them having the best ideas high. Oh man, this is so true. I know for sure, with 100% certainty, that the way that I do it is not the best way. There is no best way. It depends on your situation. And I would say right now, if I ask everyone in the chat, what percentage of you think you're in the top half of resellers? Probably 80-90% of you will think you're above average, when that's not true. Half of you are below average, and half of you are above average. So what is average? I would say average is maybe between $2,000 and $5,000 a month in profit. That's average, right? Most people are not most. Half of people are earning less than that, and half of people are earning more than that. It really just depends on your habits. But again, most people think that they're a lot better than they are, and I will be the first to admit that is not true for me. I do not think I know a lot. After meeting all these people in the group that are doing different things, I realize I know very little about reselling. The the subject of reselling is so much information and encompasses billions of listings. I know a little bit about reselling in a small subset of reselling. Okay, and that's still okay because in that subset, maybe my knowledge is above average and it produces above average results. But overall, in the grand scheme of reselling, I know very little. Amateurs think reality is what they want to see, and professionals know reality is what's true. That hits home again. You know, if I look at my overview, I know that I have been struggling with handling customer service hardcore. So I have 256 unread messages because I wasn't able to get to my messages today. And that's brutal. Okay, so I know my limitations. And my limitations are really when it coming to customer service because I'm just not used to listing 200 items a day and the questions that are coming in. So again, I will learn how to do that. But I'm not thinking about this as wishful thinking. I already know my limitations. I know things that I'm not good at. And so reality is what this says. This says in the last 90 days I've had $119,000 in sales. So that's my reality. If I'm like, I'm selling $1 million a month, that's wrong. I just focus on what's real. What are my actual sales? And I know that the last couple of days my sales haven't been strong. I know why. It's because I'm taking too long to answer customers. I gotta figure out how to get my weight up and be a professional about it. Right after this video, I'm gonna go through and knock all these out because I'm falling behind because I'm not used to it. The other stuff I figured out, the shipping, the listing, the customer service though, that part, I still struggle with it. I'm not fast at it. I come from a background of handling customer service like really slowly and thinking about it, but I need to be like a ninja and just knock out whatever the question is and then move on to the next one. Okay, and finally, amateurs think disagreements are threats. They think increased expenses are threats. They think everything is a threat. It's not true. You know, the way I look at it is, you know, as my store grows, last year I spent $93,000 on shipping. This year I should spend $180,000 on shipping, so I should double. And I don't see that as a threat. I see that as an opportunity. One, shipping's becoming more expensive, so less people will resell at a smaller scale. And I think that that's an opportunity for people who are larger sellers to maybe take a little bit more market share because there's going to be more and more stuff for sale as there's less and less abilities to earn money. Yeah, I think as economies mature, I don't know. I just feel like I'm watching everyone around me either make a lot of money or make less and less money as companies become more efficient. And, you know, as jobs get automated, as SOPs become tighter and tighter, they can pay people less and less and less, and the owners make more and more and more. And I just want everyone who's listening to this, you are the owner of your eBay business, your resale business. You can make more money if you just turn it on a little bit higher. So everyone, become a professional. Sorry, this is like a ridiculously long rant video, but I enjoyed making this one. So I appreciate you guys' time. Smash the like button. Consider subscribing to my channel and join the Resellers Podcast Facebook group with Tech and Sports and myself. He is where I want to be. He lists 250 items a day. So it's much easier to just follow him than to try to do it myself because, like I said, I know a little bit about reselling, but it's in a small subset of reselling. And in the grand scheme of things, I don't know diddly squat about reselling, okay? There's people who make a full-time living selling pine cones, okay? And how do you even do that? So I don't know that much, so it's important to surround yourself with people who know they know a little bit more than you in something. So stay humble, stay hungry. I'll see you guys next time. Make progress daily.